All right. Welcome to the MTG DeaLS Legacy Tournament. This is for a round-trip airfare to GP Indianapolis. This is the top 8. And my name is Robert Wynn, and I'm joined with...
John Hardwell.
Yeah, and when's this tournament, John?
I believe it's late March.
Late March. Yeah, this is in Indianapolis. It's a GP. And,
it's a Legacy GP.
And right now, I'm looking at Nathan Situ's deck list. He's the one sitting on the right. And he's playing a Team America variance with Tombstalkers, Force of Will, Daze, Stifle, Hymn to Torok. Alright, so John has the deck list on the player on the left.
Yes, Nathan's opponent is Alan Tam, who is playing a green-white Maverick deck. However, he's running a Sarah Avenger and Ethervile, and he is not running Green Sun Zenith.
This doesn't look like a very typical Maverick deck, does it, John?
No, it's not.
So the two players right now are shuffling. I believe they're finished shuffling, and they're drawing their first 7. So again, we got on the right side, we have Team America, piloted by Nathan Situ, and on the left side we have...
Green-white Maverick, piloted by Alan Tam.
Alright, so...
Alan's taking a mulligan.
And looks like Nathan is decided to keep. So how many players were there today, John?
25, I believe.
Yes, we had 25 players today, 5 rounds, best of 3, and right now in the top 8. So tell me, I'm not very familiar with the Team America deck. What exactly does it? What's its game plan?
It's just a very disruptive control deck. Plays cards like Him, Stifle, Force of Will. It's very good against the combo decks in the format.
Right, because of Stifle, correct?
Yeah, and it also has a lot of mana denial in the form of Wasteland and Stifle.
Right. So would you call this a tempo variance?
Yeah, you could call it that. Yeah, it's playing Delver, so it's certainly aggressive.
Right. And I see that Alan's deck has Ethervile and Sarah Avenger. This is a very old version of blue-white control.
Yeah, it's similar to the old blue-white tempo deck.
Alright, so right now we have Alan Tan looking at his 6. Oh, and then now we're getting underway here.
Alright, so it looks like Alan's leading off with Arid Mesa into Basic Plains. And a turn 1 Aethervile.
Oh, Nathan lets it resolve. Nathan plays an Underground Sea, and decides to ponder. He ponders into Tarmogoyf, Brainstorm, and Daze.
And Nathan's deck does not play any basic lands, so Alan's Wasteland is going to be quite problematic in this matchup.
Yes, I agree with that, John.
Although he does have Stifle to circumvent that.
That is correct.
Also, Ethervile is very problematic for Nathan's deck because it it makes his counters blinks essentially.
Right, he's running a total of eight counters, I believe. 4
Yeah,
days.
4 days,
4 days
Force of
and
Will.
Force of Will, yeah.
And he does not have any main deck answers to the vial.
So Nathan, I believe he decided to
Looks like Alan put in a Mother of Runes into turn. And upped vial to 2 counters.
So the last few months I've seen on the legacy circuit that Mother Runes has seen a lot of play lately. Why is this, John?
Basically, it's just a phenomenal card against all the fair decks in the format. Any control deck or aggro deck, it's just so good against.
Right. So it pretty much negates any type of removal, correct?
Right. And it often negates equipment too, like Batterskull can't really attack profitably through it. Any of the swords except for, the pro-white ones can't attack really through it. So yeah, it's just a very good card in the format right now.
Right. So
Of
Nathan,
course, the one drawback is the unfair decks, Storm, Reanimator, that sort of thing. They just ignore the card.
correct. Right now Nathan decides to end a turn crack his Pluto Delta for a Tropical Island.
Yeah, again, he's forced to get a non-basic.
Surprised Alan didn't Wasteland end a turn or upkeep.
Yeah, I would have thought he would have, because he doesn't really need mana himself right now because of Vial, so would have thought he wanted to restrict his opponent's mana. Keep him off Liliana or Click or that sort of thing.
Yeah, but then again, this is the first game these two players are playing against each other, so you don't know what to expect.
Right. Yeah, well, and there's Liliana.
So Nathan taps out on 3 for Liliana the Veil. So what does Liliana have? What modes does she have?
It's +1, each player discards a card. -2, target player sacrifices a creature. And the -6 is, I believe, target player separates their permanents into 2 piles. Or you separate their permanents into 2 piles. They choose one and sack it, and the rest they keep.
Right.
Yeah, I've not seen Liliana ultimated too often.
Yeah. Usually she's played for her -2 ability.
Yeah, her first 2 abilities are quite nice, though.
Yeah. So I believe Alan is responding.
Yeah, he responded to Nathan casting Liliana by vialing a Revoker, and he can then name Liliana, so he can never activate it, actually.
That's a pretty nice play right there.
Yeah, that's...
So Nathan basically has a dead Liliana right now, correct?
Right, yeah, it just sits in play, but it can't actually do anything.
Right, so as long as Revoker's in play, Liliana can't do anything.
Right. And again, Revoker says, as it comes into play, and name a non-land permanent, and activated abilities of that permanent cannot be played.
Right.
So unlike Pithing Needle, it does stop things like Alion's Eye Diamond and Lotus Petal.
Oh, like mana abilities, right?
Right, but it does not stop things like Caracas or Mazabeth.
Okay. So I saw Alan that he wanted to play it safe. He just wanted to just take care of the Liliana, even though she's useless right now.
Right, because Nathan does have removal that could simply deal with the Revoker, and then she could become active.
Right. So here Nathan ponders again. Just has to keep the top 3. Draws into Catacombs. Nathan decides to cast Brainstorm, main phase. He sees Ghastly Demise, Force Will, and Underground Sea. So he ships the 2 lands in the back. Well, Brainstorm is just a powerful card.
Yeah, that card is quite nice.
Yeah. And elects to pass the turn.
Yeah, things are looking pretty rough for Nathan. I mean, he has a hand with cards like Stifle and Force of Will, which don't really do anything right here.
Yeah. Especially with that Aether Vial still in play.
Right, yeah. He needs something like a Tarmogoyf.
I mean, even if he does have Tarmogoyf, I mean, Alan has double Mother runes.
Right, but he's only taking 2 damage a turn, so
Right.
it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So something like Pernicious Deed would be phenomenal against Alan.
Correct.
But I don't believe he runs that main deck, and I don't even know if he runs on the board.
Yeah. So Alan decided to end of turn Stoneforge Mystic, I believe.
Yes, but Nathan stifled the trigger.
Oh, okay. So it's pretty much a 1/2 squire.
Right.
Yeah.
Good use of Stifle right there. I like that.
Yeah.
Looks like he has a Tombstalker in hand.
Yeah. I mean, he's building his graveyard up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Your turn.
So Nathan decides to end a turn, fetches Verdant Catacombs. For a Bayou.
You got how many cards now? Two.
So you choose your target and then. So Alan decides to use his fetch land or his wasteland during upkeep.
Yeah, presumably to keep him off Jace mana.
Yeah. So he likes to hit the tropical. Alright, Nathan uses a stifle to stifle the effect. So what exactly does stifle do, John?
It counters any activated or triggered ability.
Right. So wasteland is a activated ability.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, its main use in Legacy is to stop fetch lands. It's also good against things like Stoneforge Mystic, Pernicious Deed, Engineered Explosives. Stops Anime Dead. It has a lot of interesting uses.
Right. So we've seen so far Nathan using that card to pretty good effect.
Right.
So Nathan now decides to play a Tarmogoyf or a
Tombstalker.
Tombstalker. All right.
Yeah, which is a 8 mana 5/5 flyer, and you can reduce its cost by 1 generic mana by removing a card from your graveyard. So it only actually cost him 2 mana because he
Right.
removed 6 cards.
6 cards. Okay. So that's a very efficient card, right?
Right. Yeah, it's good in this deck because it fills its graveyard quickly.
Yeah. So I believe Alan decides to end a turn another Stoneforge Mystic.
I don't believe Nathan has another Stifle, so
Yeah.
that will be a problem for him.
Yeah.
I think he's holding Double Force, Daze, and Gas the Demise, which is negated by the Mother of Runes.
Yeah. So looking at Alan's deck list, what equipment can he get?
I mean, Light and Shadow, sort of Light and Shadow gets through the Tombstalker. Sort of Fire and Ice. Well, I mean, given that he has Mother of Runes, like the protection doesn't really matter. He's going to connect with whatever he gets.
Right.
So probably sort of Fire and Ice, simply because it draws him cards and increases the clock. And that looks like what he does get.
Yeah. So he decides to get a sort of Fire and Ice. So when a Sword of Fire and Ice connects, what are the 2 effects that it gives?
You can deal 2 damage to target creature or player, and you get to draw a card.
Right. And this is when when damage dealt to the target player, correct?
Right, it's only player, does not combat damage.
Right.
Unlike Jitte, which is any combat damage.
Right. It looks like Alan just has his sword as a Tombstalker. Yeah, I see Nathan just... He's probably going to force will this.
Right, given how dead his forces are this game, I think he has to.
Yeah.
Well, the good news for Nathan is his opponent's not going to get a hit in with the sword.
Alright, because...
Because he doesn't have enough mana to put it in and then equip it.
Right.
And he just passes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so Alan giving Nathan time to stabilize.